Hi there, my name is Steve Gearhart, and as always, this is the Unagi Observer. Thank you so much for stopping by and watching the video. This is a labor of love for me, so thank you so much for stopping by and being here watching. So we are going to talk about a very unusual anime today that I picked up at my local video store. Yes, we still have video stores in Baltimore. Actually, it's I think it's one of two maybe, and it is called Beyond Video. The link will be down below in case you're interested. And if you happen to live in Baltimore and want to belong to a nonprofit video store that has many interesting things, I would encourage you to do so. Check out the link down below. But yes, we're going to talk about a very unusual anime that I happened to pick up because I just saw it and I was like, I know nothing about this. And it is called Tamala 2010, a punk cat in space. It's a weird one, but I love it. So let's go ahead and start talking about it. All right, we have an odd one for you today. Now, for those of you who know me, know that I enjoy anime in general, and I have specific things that I actually do like better than some other things. And one of the things why I like to say is in my wheelhouse is the odd and unusual, the ones that make you go nani, and they are just hard to describe sometimes. I have a feeling that for those of you who know my panel of anime from the discount bin, I think in the next iteration, Tamala 2010, a punk cat in space, is going to be in one of those iterations, I do believe. So this one's going to be kind of unusual. I found it at Beyond Video, my video store here in Baltimore. Link will be down below. And I knew nothing about it, like literally nothing. I had nothing. I looked at it. It looked kind of interesting. It had a definitely retro Astro Boy look to it, like almost like Tezuka, but clearly not Tezuka. This was done in, I believe, the early 2000s. But so I was just like, okay, why not? I belong to a video store and this is a thing. So we're going to watch it. So I've watched it over a period of 2 days because it was, I won't call it dense like Angel's Egg or Ghost in the Shell or something like that, but it was definitely some, thought had to be put behind it. When you're watching this, it's a little bit of a thinky one, but not too bad. And so I took my time watching it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And I thoroughly enjoy this. Like I said, the weird ones are in my wheelhouse, and this is definitely a weird one. Now, the genre is definitely going to be science fiction. Okay, that's hands down what it is. But the story behind it is very is very not complex, but very just I don't even have words. It's very it reveals itself over time, I guess is the best way to put it. So let's go into some of the particulars of this anime. So, like I said, this came out in early 2000s. Was originally supposed to be a 3-movie project. There's been there's a manga attached to this that was done in that started in 2002 and is apparently currently ongoing. I've never seen it, so I don't know. But there's some other original OVAs to this as well. Some snippet, small ones like 15, 16-minute long movies. The sequel to this movie, an actual movie sequel to Tamala 2010, is Tamala 2030, a punk cat in the dark, I think it's called. It was released this year, and I think you can find it on really odd sites. I'll have to look for it. But Tamala 2010, a punk cat in space, you can find in the Internet Archives, and I believe you can find it on YouTube. And the music behind it is going to be, I'm going to have it on SciTube, so if you want to check the link down below, you'll be able to see the trailer, and then you can listen to the whole album if you want to. The band behind it is called Trees of Life, and I'll talk about them in a little bit. And so anyway, so yes, this came out. This is about 92 minutes long. Came out in October 2002. The studio is called Kinetech, but I can't find anything about it. So if any of you out there in the wild know what this studio is, if you could let me know, because I'd be curious to see if this is the only thing they've done or if there's other stuff out there. It has been picked up, licensed by Deaf Crocodile, which is the company that is now kind of licensing out to theaters and things like that. Yeah. So, where to begin on this? Let's talk about plot. All right. So the plot is that we have Tamala, who is this cat on cat Earth, and she is just kind of a punk cat. And leading up to her introduction is a series of events that go back in time, where we talk about a messenger giving messages, and there's supposed to be that's supposed to be the beginning of the Minerva cult. That's how it starts, and you go, okay, what does that mean? You learn as the movie goes on. So Tamala, we fast forward to 2010, the far flung future year of 2010. Remember, this was done in 2002 or released in 2002. And Tamala, like I said, is a punk cat. She gets up, she gets this little postcard, she reads it, and off she goes to space, to the planet Q, to the city called Hate City. And the planet Q is run by canines, but it is also inhabited by cats as well. So there's this kind of tension going on there. As um, Tamala is deciding that she's going to go into space and do this thing, you see odd imagery in a very futuristic town, very Astro Boy ish kind of animation. Talk about the animation in a bit. And her mother is a human who is cavorting with a snake. And the mother is not very nice. And Tamala is just basically F you. In the spaceship, she goes to the planet Q. She lights on the planet Q, and she's this cute chain smoking cat and meets up with another cat named Michelangelo. And some things happen, and she's just kind of exploring the world. And he's just kind of amazed that she's from Cat Earth, wondering why she's there. And she goes, well, I'm kind of looking for my mom, among other things. And so we get this mishmash of a story. It is a very difficult, it is a little bit difficult to follow the story because the story doesn't go in a very linear line. And we come to discover that there is something special about Tamala. And she comes across a statue on the planet Q of um, Minerva, a cat goddess on Earth, on Cat Earth, and she sees a symbol on the statue that does not have a head and is missing a left arm. This is important. Later on, she's with Michelangelo and she gets a tattoo of that symbol on her. And she kind of does things is very, on one hand, kind of innocent, and on the other hand, kind of like Milk Chan, where she's kind of foul mouthed and she does just arbitrarily violent things like kicking little girl cats in the head. Nani? Anyway, but what we come to discover as the story goes on, we cut to a dog, a canine who's a part of the police department, who is keeping captive a mouse. And I'm just gonna say it. There's this weird BDSM thing going on between this huge German Shepherd dog and this little tiny mouse. It's really very disturbing and odd, and it's meant to be disturbing and odd. Like, you're not meant to be comfortable about this. And it worked. I was not comfortable with it at all. Um, but he kind of intersects in the story in that he is this kind of just this very much a sadist, and he uses his power of authority to do what he wants to cats, right? So you get this sense that on this world of Q, the cat population and canine population are at odds with each other, and it's the canine population that's in charge of, ostensibly in charge of everything. So he kind of has free license to beat up the cats and stuff like that. Michelangelo, of course, takes her, to explore. We're gonna go away from the dog there for a second. Takes Tamla and explores Planet Q, and he explains things to her. She explains things about Cat Earth and why she's there. They kind of hook up a little bit. And she is just, and when they said that she's a punk cat, she is a punk cat. She's just does her own thing. She always has a cigarette in paw, so to speak. She steals stuff. And we have this as these things are happening, then we get a narration from these two cross-dressing cats, male cats who cross-dress as women cats, and they are talking to each other, and you get more of an idea of what's going on this world, on this planet. And then you come to discover that there is an actual thing happening, and Tamala is at the center of it. And I don't kind of don't want to give it away for you, but she turns out to be an icon for this company from Cat Earth called Cat and Company, which is a front for the Minerva cult. And she is a sort of a almost immortal sort of spokesperson, or not spokesperson, but a model for the company that they've been using her image for a long time now. So we have themes about corporate incursion in life, the omnipresent corruption of corporations, violence, how to occultism, and all this stuff. Now, if it seems like what I've just described to you is very disjointed, it's because it is. So this anime is very disjointed. That's why I'm kind of like wanted to make a real emphasis on like these are things I like, and they may not be things that you like, but I still think it's a very interesting anime. So that's kind of the story, and I had to edit that a lot because there's a lot in there that if I were to say it just ruins the movie. Honestly, so this is something that if you wish to avail yourself to experience, then you'll understand why I didn't say a lot. So that's kind of the plot, disjointed as it is. Animation. The animation is very stripped down, bare. We're talking Tezuka level 1960s, but done with it's black and white. I think a lot of it was done in Adobe, honestly, and intersposed with a little bit of CGI. There is the CGI part brings in this robotic Minerva goddess who is missing the arm and a head. That's why I said that was important. At risk of giving away things here. And there is also actually live action things that happen in there in this like scenery, in terms of scenery. So this is not going to be like, so the animation is interesting. It's interesting to look at, but this is not going to be like, this, oh my God, this is the greatest art piece ever made. No, but it is stripped down, and it is meant to be this way because it's actually telling a story, and they feel the story and the music is more important than the animation, but they want to use the animation as a multimedia project for the band that did the soundtrack. I'll get to them in a moment. So the animation, while interesting, is definitely stripped down. You're not going to be wowed by a lot of movement, but it is visually interesting of what they put on screen, and how things look. The music is slapping. This is a really there's a soundtrack behind this album, and it's made by a band called t.o.L. It's lowercase t period lowercase o period uppercase L. Stands for Trees of Life. It's a Japanese kind of indie electronic band. And the reason why I'm making a point about this is that not only is the music good and it fits with the visuals that you're seeing here, but the band also wrote this, directed it, and even though the band is, I believe, disbanded, they are still involved with the visual product with the sequel that just came out. So if you want to check out the soundtrack of the album, click on the SideTube link down below. It's pretty interesting. So yeah, t.o.L. Tree of Life. You can find them also on Spotify. Very good stuff in the electronica. And like I said, the music really does fit with what you're watching, and it creates an amazing mood, and it's just kind of it's just really cool. It's just really kind of cool stuff. So yeah, this is a very, very, very difficult one to review for you guys because, like I say, this is very interesting to me, and I enjoy it, and I like trying to puzzle these things out. If you are a particular type of anime watcher, like you like shonen, shoujo, whatever, mecha, slice of life, whatever it is, this might be a little hard for you. I would encourage anybody of mature age, because we do deal with mature subjects like stuff. Um, And so I would say if you're 16, if you're a mature 16-year-old or older, then you could probably watch this movie. So just be prepared to have a visual experience and kind of coast. I would say on the first watch through, just kind of coast with it and just pick up what you can, and do a second watch to get more of the minutia of the detail. This is not something where there's something hidden in everything. It's not that. It's just that in order to connect the pieces, sometimes the second watch is a pretty good idea. Again, this was kind of like a multimedia project for t.o.L, Trees of Life, and to not only showcase their music but also their other artistic skills that they're involved with or were involved with. So would I recommend this to you? If you have an open mind and you want to see something completely different, or if you like the weird and unusual, yes, by all means, give this a try. I think you'll like it for what it is. I think you'll enjoy the music, and I think you'll enjoy how the music fits with the animation. Story's a little hard. Just going to warn you, story's a little hard in terms of just kind of piecing it together and understanding it. So, yes, I'm sorry that this review was kind of disjointed, but I wanted to have people to be aware of this anime, and I think it's important to do that. And even though I couldn't really give you a more smoother idea of what what the plot is, because too much would be given away. And but yeah, so I do hope that you give this a try. For me and people like me, this is a great thing. For people who want not that, probably not so much. So if the weird is not in your wheelhouse, you can pass this one by. That's fine. You don't need this to punch your otaku membership card. Let's just put it that way. But like I said, if you have an open mind, give it a try and see what you think. And if you do, um, please let me know what you thought down below. Be nice. No trolling. But yeah, I'd be really interested for you all to give me feedback on what you thought about this thing. I'm sure there'll be some people just like, I don't, what is this? I don't know. And there's other people that can probably be like, wow, this is really something. I want to see the gamut of reactions. So let me know. Let me know what you think. All right, cool. So Tamala 2010, a punk cat in space. Okay, so that's going to be it for this week. A very disjointed anime, but very cool looking anime. Very slapping music with going with this anime. Tamala 2010, a punk cat in space. Please give it a try and let me know down below. That's going to be it for this week. Next week, we shall see. We shall see what we have going on. We have right now on the Spotify, we are as part of Anime Archaeology. I believe we are on the second episode of 3 talking about Nausicaa. So if you want to check that out, the link is down below. We're on several different platforms, so just click the link and I'll take you to where you want to be, or Spotify, yeah, all that good stuff. So please check it out. And yeah, that's going to be it. I don't know what else to say about this anime. It was just very unusual. So yeah, as always, take care of yourselves. I would like to see you out in the wild and have a conversation with you. If you've ever seen me in the wild and want to say hi, please do. I would love that. So yeah, that's going to be it. And as always, we're going to end off with, as always, watch more anime.